What factors affect the solubility of a substance? What is solubility? Solubility is the maximum amount of solute that you can add to a fixed volume of solvent. It is the mass of solute that you can dissolve in a given amount of solvent. When no more solute can dissolve in a solvent, it forms the saturated point. What factors affect solubility? First, the polarity of the solvent. A solute will dissolve best in a solvent that has a similar polarity to itself. A very polar solute is very soluble in higher polar waters, less soluble in fairly polar, and practically insoluble in nonpolar solvents. Most solubilities follow this rule. An example of a polar solvent is water, methanol, and acetic acid. Some examples of nonpolar solvents is benzene, carbon tetrachloride, and diethyl ether. Second is the temperature of the solvent. When the temperature gets higher for a solid, the higher the solubility. For example, sugar will dissolve more easier in a hot liquid than in a cold liquid. But for gases, at a higher temperature, the solubility goes down. For example, soda goes flat when warm. The third one is pressure, also affects the solubility. Notice that CO2 will form bubbles when you open the cap of a soda. And the fourth one is the size of the particles and whether or not you stir the solution. This will help up the speeding process, but it will still not change the total amount that will be dissolved. How do we use solubility in practical applications? We use solubility in many things throughout our day. For example, cooking, baking, and most important, medicine. It is also a big part in lab and chemistry research. It is of fundamental importance in a large number of scientific practical applications. The solubility of a drug is an important factor affecting bioavailability. This means the proportion of a drug that enters the circulation when introduced into the body and be able to have an active effect. This is why the solubility of medicines is so important.